Hi guys, so today we are going to continue working with our three-dimensional shapes, and today we're going to look at cross sections of rectangular pyramids. So yesterday you were working with rectangular prisms, and today we're going to focus on rectangular pyramids. So just a reminder, a cross section is the 2D shape made when slicing through a three-dimensional shape or a 3D shape. And again, we have two types of cross sections that we're going to talk about. So just as a reminder, we first have our vertical slice, which remember is perpendicular to our base. So perpendicular. Okay, and remember that this is when we slice up and down. Okay, it's identical to the front, back, or side of the three-dimensional shape. So if we take a look here, I can scroll down so you can see the image. As we can see through that pyramid that it is sliced up and down, and we can see that it's going to be identical to either our sides or the front and back. All right, so let's take a look at our second type of slice, which if you remember from yesterday is our horizontal slice, and that is going to be parallel to our base. Okay, and remember that this is when we slice from side to side. And then if we remember from yesterday, it's going to be identical to the bottom or base of our three-dimensional shape. So it's going to be the same shape as our base of our pyramid. And if you remember from last week, our pyramids only have one base. So it's going to be the same shape as our base. And also a horizontal slice is also called a lateral slice. Okay. So again, today, you guys are going to go to that same site that we went to yesterday, but today we are going to focus on slicing rectangular pyramids instead of prisms. So you will go back into Google Classroom, you're going to click the link for Slicing Rectangular Pyramids activity, and again, you're going to take about 5 minutes to play around with the website and try to answer the questions that are listed here below. So once you go to that site, if you remember from yesterday, you want to make sure that you click on the one that does say sections of rectangular pyramids. And if you scroll down here, if you take a look, it's going to show our pyramid. And again, we can adjust the height of our cross section. We can come all the way down here to the base and then move up our pyramid to show our cross section. We can rotate it between horizontal or vertical slice. So we can go all the way to vertical. We can go back to horizontal. We can also rotate too. So we can just rotate the cross section itself. We can turn it. And then again, we can move it within, our cross section. We can move around here within this space to kind of show where we're at. And then again, we can come down here with our plane, and we can make our cross section either more or less transparent. And then we can also make our shape more or less transparent. And if you're having trouble seeing the actual cross section here, the shape, this darker shape, you can also click here, view from the side, and it will show you what the cross section looks like that you're looking at. So again, go ahead and take a few minutes, play around a bit, and then go back and try to answer those 3 questions on the other page. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you had a chance to go ahead and play around a little bit and answer these questions. As you can see, the answers are here, so you can check over those, but we'll review these. So the first question said, what 2D shape is made when you slice horizontally? So when we slice horizontally, we're slicing parallel to our base. And when we do that, we should be getting a rectangle. Now, the second part of this says, does the shape change by moving the slice up or down on the pyramid? And yes, it is going to change our shape. We're still going to have a rectangle, but it is going to get smaller the more we move it up the pyramid. So as we move it up, it's going to get smaller, and as we move it closer to the base, it's going to be a larger rectangle. For question 2, what 2D shape is made when you slice vertically? Anytime we do a vertical slice, that's going to be a slice perpendicular to our base, we are going to get a triangle. Does this shape change when you rotate it? And no matter which way we're rotating our cross section, if we slice it vertically, we are going to have a triangle. And then it says for number 3, what 2D shape is made when you slice diagonally? So now when you make a slice diagonally through your pyramid, you are going to get a trapezoid. So hopefully you were able to see that on that website and playing around with your pyramid. All right, so go ahead and take a look at the back. And here, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little just so we can see this better. And now we want to practice finding our dimensions in cross sections, just like we did yesterday with our prisms. So if we look at this first pyramid here, we are looking at a vertical slice. So we are going to take a look at, again, yesterday we were talking about how if the cross section cuts through a side, that is not going to be one of the dimensions. So since our cross section cuts through this side here, it is not going to be 6 inches. So what we're going to look at is this part coming across the bottom here, which is going to line up with, or it's going to be in line with 3 inches. So what we're going to look for in our two-dimensional shape is a triangle, right? Because it cuts through and we see our triangle. But we're going to look for a triangle with a base of 3, which is going to be C. Okay, looking at our second shape here, we have another pyramid and we have a horizontal slice. So now we are looking here and we can see that this cross section is a rectangle. Now, it is further up our pyramid, so it's not going to have the same dimensions as our base, but we are going to be looking for a rectangle, and the only rectangle up here is going to be A. And then obviously, since it's moved up on the pyramid, our numbers are going to get smaller, so 1 inch by 2 inches is going to be our rectangle. So then that really just leaves us with our answer for the last one, but again, we're going to look at this. We can see that our vertical slice cuts through this side, which is 3 inches, so we're not going to be using that. We're going to look at our base coming across here being 6 inches. So now we're looking at our triangle with a base of 6 inches, and we can see that this cross section does form our triangle as we come down. Okay. Let's take a look at our last example. Scroll down. It says, what would the dimensions of a vertical cross section from the image below be? Okay, so we're going to take a look at a vertical cross section. Now, we could technically kind of move this whichever way we want to turn it. The good thing is our base is a square, so we have the same dimensions across the front and side. So no matter which way we make our vertical slice, it's still going to have the same base. So I'm going to come across the top here, and I'm going to try and draw this the best I can. We're going to make our cut across here, and we're going to come down, and we're going to cut through. It's not the greatest, but we can see we're making our vertical slice. So what I can see is that my going across the bottom here is going to line up with my 2 centimeters. So I know that the base of my triangle that I'm going to have for my cross section is going to be 2 centimeters. And then I can just kind of follow this along with my triangle, which is going to give me a base of 2 and a height of 3. So I can kind of see what that would look like. I am going to have a triangle. And as I said, my base is 2 and my height is 3. I know that's not the clearest drawing, but it's all right. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully these notes helped you to learn a little bit more about cross sections with pyramids. And if you have any questions, feel free to go back and rewatch parts of the video. You can go back and play around on that site. That kind of helps you to see the different cross sections, or just raise your hand and ask your teacher.